We're back here at the Monroe project with Nickelson Construction. I'm here with Isaac Nickelson, and we're getting ready to walk through and talk to you about the framing and show you why a custom-built home is so different from a track-built home. There are lots of framing details that you guys have put in here. This is also an ADA home.
It is. It's going to be a ADA smart home. So there's a lot of things that we've set up to be, again, we talked about in our first video, some of the zero entry side of things. But yeah, we're going to have a full Control4 smart home system in here where they can do a lot of controlling of.
It's got a freaking elevator too, right?
Yeah, it's got an elevator in here. So yeah, lots going on, and it's been a fun build. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing. So come on with us, and we'll go walk through. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Capture some.
All right, so we're down here in the basement, and this is where everything starts. It's really important structurally to have the foundation in good shape, and then everything is supported from this on up. So I noticed you've done a bunch of different touches down here, and I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah.
Why don't we start with the floor joists here? What do you got going on there?
So definitely a fun detail from the custom standpoint that we like to do. This particular home, we've actually done a floor truss. So that's actually different than just a pre-engineered I-joist. And what these are, you can see all the different webbing here in these trusses. What this allows us to do from a custom standpoint, again, these might cost a little more, but it helps us keep our ceilings taller. We can run a lot of our mechanicals, our plumbing, our HVAC through some of these.
Oh yeah.
So
see plumbing right there. Yeah.
So it keeps everything. Instead of a lot of basements you'll walk in, we'll have a very low ceiling or a lot more drops along the ceiling. So it helps us keep everything up in the floor trusses.
Okay. And what about squeaky floors? I know I hate that in my house. Yeah, my house squeaks all the time.
So we use a really nice product. You can probably see some of the labeling here. The Advantech flooring. It's a squeak-free guarantee on their floor when you've used their sheet, their product. It's a polyurethane glue that's actually applied on all these floor joists here. And just little things as a custom builder that we do. A lot of times when you've got a butt joint on your sheets, we're gluing both sides of that sheet to make sure it's not just one down the center and then you have problems later. So those are things that we just go the extra mile on to make sure that we're not getting callbacks and things that just careful planning help eliminate from the get-go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I also noticed why isn't that tight to the wall?
Yeah. So in a lot of tract homes, you'll see things done a little bit differently. These walls here, we hold these off of our wall much further than maybe a production build. And part of that is so we get the full R value of our insulation here. If you build these walls closer, you're compressing your insulation. So that's a detail that is just part of the comfort of the home, and careful planning can go into that. And then of course, on this particular one, you can see here we've got what's called a floating wall. And that for our Colorado soils, we talked a lot about that in the very early videos. But that would, if the floor is to move, it's not putting unnecessary pressure on the wall or moving floor joists or truss that then have issues further down the line. So everything again is buried on our foundation, and where there needs to be careful planning or movement, that's all planned and engineered into our builds.
Cool. And I also noticed this wall, it seems like an awful lot of 2x4s in that wall. What the hell?
Yeah. So check this out. This is pretty cool. We, for this particular home, this is the client's studio here. So he records, he does a lot of videos, he's a podcaster. So we actually, this is a high-tech wall. It's an engineering frame detail that actually, it's a sound dampening technique where the sound will not transmit vibration from this side of the wall to the other. It actually has this to where we'll run a continuous insulation kind of woven through these studs here. And instead of when the sound picks up and vibrates on the side, because these studs are separated and it's broken, thermally broken here, it will not actually transmit that sound from this side to the other side.
Ah, very cool.
So it's a pretty cool detail.
That's interesting. So it's like these are all nailed on this side and these are all nailed in the other room.
That's right.
Very cool. All right. Well, you know, I noticed you also had some steel down here.
Yeah.
Did you guys, you know, is that typical in a lot of your builds, or is that?
So yeah, it definitely is pretty typical, and it depends on, you know, the larger the home, usually the larger the steel. But this one particularly has a drop beam that runs all the way through. Again, kind of carefully planned where we put these columns. A lot of times you'll see things like out in the middle of the floor. So it's just strategically thought out to where you do have to have this drop beam to carry the entire load of the second floor or main floor here. But with this drop beam and then kind of carefully planning the architecture and design side, we can put these in a great place where they're in a wall. It's like not right out in the middle of your living room.
Okay. And you can also do bigger spans with steel too. I mean, obviously here you're not really doing a big span, but
yeah.
Cool. What is this a mistake?
Yeah, right. We got a whole concrete. What's going on here? So this is actually, we talked in our first video a little bit about the elevator here. So we've got a 3-stop elevator going from each floor. We got basement, main floor, and then second floor. So this is part of the elevator engineering to where it comes down, it's actually recessed into the floor. So that way when it comes down at this first stop, it can actually transition right to the elevator. So again, keeping that that theme of everything flush and same elevation. We've got this elevator pit here that allows it to sit down in that space.
Cool. Will this be the floor elevation, or is that coming out?
So that's, that we're still in the middle of framing here, doing a lot of punch work, but this plate will come out, and this is the subfloor essentially, and then we'd have a wood floor on top of here that when everything's dialed in, it would be flush with this elevator here.
Cool. So tell me about the mechanical room here.
So definitely piling a lot into this basement mechanical room here. And we'll highlight some of these details later, but we can talk a little bit about it now. We've got a fire sprinkler system, a suppression system that's actually a part of the entire home. We'll have a big holding tank here that's designed as a safety to get everyone out of the house, forbid there ever was a fire. So this will be a fire sprinkler system here. We're gonna have a big setup of 2 tankless hot water heaters on this wall. These will be on a recirc line. What that would do is would get water to like the furthest fixture away, so you're not waiting on hot water to travel. We're gonna have a manifold, a plumbing manifold. If you think of it kind of like almost like an electrical panel, but pretty much for plumbing. There'll be different zones. So if you, let's say, forbid you had a leak in the kitchen, you could shut that zone down while the rest of the house, still have water everywhere. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot going on this wall here. We've got two of our furnaces setting back. We've got kind of an interesting.
Is it forced air?
It is forced air.
Okay.
And on these, we have we've got a couple different zones going on. So we're gonna have a zone system for the basement, and then a zone for the main floor. So those can be controlled differently. Something in Colorado, our basements stay either much warmer or colder, so that'll help kind of balance and even out that temperature. And then we're gonna have same thing for the second floor. Kind of the whole kids portion upstairs would have their side, and then the owner's suite would have their own temperature control.
So you won't have like 80 degrees upstairs, 60 in the
So that's nice. Very thoroughly, planned through and engineered. You can kind of see here it's not cut out yet, but a lot of the duct work
the space
coming through here. We've got that all chased so we can get it all up to those second floors here.
You got your radon in,
active radon system. The fan's not in yet, but this will be an inline fan. You'll see sometimes that the fan might be either on the outside wall, an inline meaning that this will sit in the line of the radon system, so it can be like in the attic, it can be further away and quiet.
I saw it up there in the attic.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah,
cool.
Lots of cool things going on.
Let's go upstairs. So I'm just looking at your stairs here, and these are different stair treads. Tell me about them. They look like they're engineered, or
yeah.
I don't know.
Something as a custom builder, again, sometimes you walk into some of these homes, stairs are kind of moving, squeaking. We use an engineered. These are LVLs, so you can see that it's a engineered. They're all LVL stands for laminated veneered lumber. So it's very straight, very strong. Then we use engineered treads on this as well. So everything then is glued with polyurethane glue, and it's just a very solid structure. Again,
what's the weight rating on that, you think? I mean, it looks like you could bring a piano down.
I know, yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah.
That's a technical engineering question for sure, but absolutely. I mean, you can see they're solid.
Nice.
They're not going anywhere. Yep.
Yeah, tell me about the window.
Yeah, a little architectural design element. We put in. It's a very, very big staircase, so if you did not let in some natural light, it could just be kind of a very dark space. But by bringing in some of that natural light, when we open up these window wells over here as well, it's just a way to get some lighting down here into the basement. Yeah. Nice little design element.
Okay, so we're on the main floor in here. And I mean, the first thing that stands out to me is there's a lot of wood in that wall.
Yeah.
Can you show that? And steel.
Yeah. So we've got a 22-foot tall ceiling. This is all kind of over-designed and engineered.
Show the whole.
Again, a lot of engineered lumber, a lot of LVLs. You can see, I think these are about 8 or 9 inches on center. Double studs, you know, it's holding up a lot of your shear strength, and
So-
really this big grand open room.
So is the prevailing wind coming from that way? Is that why this wall is so intense?
So it's a little bit about that, and it's also a little bit, the shear is actually the left to right direction of this as well.
I see.
So you can see then we've got, I mean, you can see this massive step pattern here, which is also holding up to protect against deflection. To where, I mean, sometimes you walk into some of these homes and you could, even in the finished product, hit the wall and it's got some deflection to it. So again, that's just a lot of things that are going into the thought and the planning of a really solid structure from a custom standpoint.
This is cool.
Yeah, we've got, check out the steel over here.
Yeah.
Again, this is another, because we have all of these openings in this entire wall, the engineer has actually designed it. Solid column, as you can see, going top to bottom here, and that's another point that's all bolted down to the foundation, and that's holding that shear strength of this wall as well.
Wow, look at this outside area. You gotta get a few shots of this just while we're here. This is beautiful.
So this is gonna be a nice space when it's all said and done. Obviously under construction now.
Did you buy those sanded? I mean,
so yeah, these are a pre-engineered, forgetting the name, so I'm gonna have to come back to that. But
pre-engineered beam, or
these are what are they?
Glue lamp?
They're pre-engineered Alaskan yellow cedar.
Oh,
so
that's why it looks so beautiful.
Yeah, so you can see everything straight, flat, sanded, but this will all be sanded down again at final and stained. So you'll see a lot of these in the very end product.
It's beautiful to see the real wood, even though it is all glued together now. But it's, you know,
it's real. Real wood.
Real wood.
We're gonna have a nice outdoor kitchen over in this space. So we've kind of roughed in and planned all of our mechanicals to come up from the basement up through this area. So we'll have a nice kitchen space here.
Very cool.
We're planning a couple porch heaters out in this area, so it's gonna be a fun space.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, all right.
This is the kitchen.
Okay.
So we've got a really, really large kitchen. There's actually 2 islands on this. You can kind of see it drawn. Welcome to the construction site here.
Yeah.
The this is how you know we're in the middle of building.
It's pretty clean, really. I've seen a lot worse.
We do our best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got a more of a social island here. This will have two sets of chairs on either side, so this is a place that they can hang out separately from the table. And then we've got a working island over here. It's got like a beverage fridge. We've got a microwave drawer. So yeah, it's gonna be, there's a lot going on in this space, but it's gonna be fun. We've got the sink cabinet over here with the...
Look at the size of that window.
Nice big size of a window.
Wow. So, you know, one of the things I noticed too is a lot of your framing, I go into a lot of houses and the things are all out of blind.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not nice and straight. And this, looking at what you got here, this is pretty straight.
Yeah.
And
well, you
and
can
so
see
you
what,
guys,
what looks like might be graffiti right now, but and this is, you know, in process. But we go through a very thorough process called shim and shave. That's where we're stringing walls, we're checking everything to make sure everything's in plane.
So you string it. When you string it, what's that mean?
So even though our walls are snapped out, we go through another very thorough phase of saying, okay, these walls were built and the chalk line was snapped and set to that line, but as a second layer of kind of a fail-safe, we'll run some blocking and run a string. We're checking square again. We're making sure, measuring. We'll put a block on either side and run a string all the way through there so we can get consistent measurements. Just making sure everything's straight. That way when we come to trim out, you don't see baseboards kind of swirly and all over.
Sheetrock,
Yep.
it's crooked.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of a custom detail.
It is, and you know,
There's a lot of, yeah.
there's a few different ways to do that. Certainly, you know, trees grow, right? They're not perfectly straight. That's part of the process. So if you're using actual lumber versus more of an, you know, you could upgrade to an engineered lumber if you want things perfect. It's gonna be a whole lot more money to do that. But so this is an option where, you know, we're still using traditional lumber, but we're gonna string things out. We're gonna plane it down, sand it down before we go into that drywall phase.
So what's this above the window? Why do you do that?
So yeah, let's talk about so this is a header here. And this is an interesting detail. They're called an energy header. So the reason these are actually recessed and put back to the outside is you can get some additional insulation.
Okay.
And instead of losing some thermal bridging in that point, you can actually pack that full of insulation.
Oh, wow.
And it's just helping seal up, you know, instead of having
Your environment, in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So yeah, let's check out the upstairs here. I guess there are, 3 bedrooms up here?
There
kind
are,
of big
yeah.
master suite, and I'll let you come.
So we've got, this is obviously the whole common area. We're gonna have a nice railing system that this overlooks the whole main area. We've architecturally planned in lots of windows, lots of natural light, kind of coming in this whole main area. It's not framed yet, still in progress. We're gonna have a really nice big feature wall, fireplace. It's gonna be really custom, so stay tuned to come back and check this out for sure.
We will, definitely, yeah.
This is our elevator again. This is the third stop, top floor, second floor here. You kind of see down the elevator shaft there. And a couple of cool details here. So we mentioned, you know, things being straight. Again, you could upgrade your whole house to go more of an engineered lumber. But with our process of shim shave, you know, that takes care of keeping everything straight. On this, we've got this particular wall here is where our actual elevator cab will ride up and down this wall. So from this wall, top to bottom, we've got engineered studs on this entire wall because there's very tight tolerances of keeping everything nice and straight. You can see these big 2x12s here on either side. Those are where the actual rails of the elevator will ride up and down on this wall. So that's just keeping everything riding up and down on a really nice and straight level surface here.
Cool. So tell me about the bathroom here. I mean, you got this pretty freaking space age looking toilet.
Yeah, it's a nice space.
Or whatever that is.
This is the daughter's bedroom and bathroom here. And watching step. Right now this is recessed, but this will be actually a 0 entry. We almost had to catch you there.
I know.
We don't want you to fall down out through the wall.
That would be embarrassing.
Yeah, so this is, again, another engineering detail where we've recessed floors right now to make it very easy to, when this tile comes in on the main surface here, it's gonna come in on one level so she can just roll right up to the shower. A lot of fun details going on. We've got some pretty technical plumbing, you know, nice bench, recessed niches, some really high-end Toto toilets where these actually go into the wall. These toilets are a wall-hung toilet. You can clean underneath them, pretty high-tech.
Very cool.
Some of them have built-in bidets and things, so there'll be some electrical and things going on as well. Check these out. These are pretty cool.
Oh, this is a cool pocket door.
Yeah, so these are really high-tech. Another detail, shout out to HD pocket doors. They built a really nice pocket door frame. I mean, you can see these things being made out of like an aluminum here or a steel. Just keeps everything nice and straight. And one detail we do, and you can see everywhere we plan a pocket door, we've done a 2x6 wall, which just allows us a little more space for the cavity and the door to slide in here. So yeah, some fun little notes on just design and architecture to build a really nice custom home.
So I'm Fred Porter with Porter Real Estate, and this is Isaac Nickelson with Nickelson Construction. We've been highlighting one of the really cool custom homes that these guys build, and we're going to show you some more. In fact, I actually was just visiting with a home that you built up in Drake with Espen and Louise, and they were raving about the job you did. I guess all their neighbors had told them, oh my God, it's going to be twice as long as the contractor says. It's going to cost twice as much. You came in under budget and before scheduled, as I understand. So yeah, so they were extremely happy. So
well, good.
At any rate,
I didn't know you were going to circle back and talk with them, so that's very cool.
Oh yeah, it was. That was cool.
Of selling Fred sold them the piece of property and.
And you always like that when you refer somebody to somebody and they do a good job. So so thank you.
Coming back,
totally. Totally.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like and subscribe down there. We'll be doing lots more videos of construction here, and we'll be following Nickelson Construction around. And we'll give a shout out to Liberty Plumbing there too.
Yeah.